Hey, how's it going, Heretics? James here for Heretic Wargaming. So today we are here to cover, so shout out to Miniature Scenery, which is actually a sponsor of the channel now here at Heretic Wargaming. My new buddy Tim, out there in Australia, decided to go ahead and send some terrain for the channel. So in this video, we're going to cover the different types of terrain that he sells, show you just a basic way that I'm painting it to get it table ready real fast, and just kind of cover some of the cool kits that he sent us. So before we get into actually showing you I guess I should break down how I'm going to show you guys what kits I got, explain what the kits are for, and kind of how they break down, and then I'm going to build them and show you the after, like the built, and then I'm going to show you guys how to paint them really nicely and get them table ready, right? So without further ado, let's see what I got. Okay, so here's what we ended up getting. So shout out yet again to Tim. This was super nice of him because he actually packed some more stuff in here that I was not actually expecting. So he sent a couple of widgets. So as you guys can see, it's got two 1 inch, 3 inch, and 5 inches here, which is really nice for vertical distances, right? And so he can also put any logo on them, which is really, really cool. So check those out. He also can make you customized just poker chip. And these are made actually out of plastic and not MDF, so which is quite awesome that Tim can do that. He sent us a conversion kit. Now this one you actually will not be able to see because I don't actually have a rhino to put this on, but as you guys can see, it will turn a rhino into a super chaosy looking rhino. So maybe I'll get to use that one eventually, Tim. Now, I'm kind of sad because I literally just went and bought one of these the other day, so I got a backup. So Miniature Scenery does sell these really nice cutting mats, and it's got all the measuring stuff on it, so you guys know how many inches, and this is really good if you guys do a lot of plastic art work and stuff like that, so super, super awesome thing there. Now we get into the real big kits. So he sells these right here. So these actually have a bunch of different size crates, and it's in millimeters, which I'm American, so I don't know much about this, but these will make really cool. I'm actually going to probably like glue them together and make them into stacks of boxes rather than individual boxes. So I can't wait to actually put these together. And as you guys can see, this should be a really, really quick and easy kit to put together. But we got a couple of these, so those will be really cool. And then he sent us some of these, so some shipping containers. Now I believe there's 2 in here. Might only be 1. Oh, it looks like it's 1 shipping container. So yeah, I'm gonna have to combine this with the boxes to actually make these into walls. I think he ended up sending 2 of them. Yeah, it was 2 of them. So yeah, if you guys order this, you might want to order a couple of them. That way, you know, you can put them together. I could be wrong. I'll put together the kit and obviously show you guys. Actually, it looks like it is 2. It is 2, which is nice. So that way you can build like a wall of crates between the shipping containers and some crates. So those will be really nice. Then the big bad boys. Now this one's real thick and heavy here, so it gives you a nice big L ruin and then a cool like opening ruin here. So I'm gonna build them and I might modify them a little bit, that way they're a little bit more enclosed. But what's really nice is there's no windows in these, which means the line of sight blocking, there's no arguments about area like having a base or anything. It'll legitimately be walls. So yeah, I'm really excited to put this guy together. And I believe we got 2 of those. Yeah, there's a second one in here somewhere. There it is. Second one of those. So now I move it out of the way. Next thing, good old Tim sent us. So this is basically just some like almost scatter terrain. Just like a little ruined like almost like a pillar had fallen over. And then a little bit of extra like walls. So like some lower walls. Really, really nice. And so this is actually a ruins access point. So like I said, I'm going to put these together and kind of show you guys roughly what I'm trying to do with these. So we got a couple of those. Next, so same thing. This is actually more ruins, but they're actually much higher. I believe this one right here is over 5 inches tall. I think that's what the measurement said. And then this is actually a lot bigger of an L than the other 2 that I have. So like I said, I'm gonna have to put them together and look and see how they are. I might end up boarding up the windows or something, but we'll see. I'm really excited to put these together, and he sent us a couple of those. Yep. Same thing. So these are just different styles of ruins, and you guys can see yet again. And these have these really, really cool pillars, so I can do a lot of chaosy things to them to actually make them look really nice. And the last thing, he sent us this guy. So this is pretty cool. This is actually a new thing that they came out with, the Scuttlebug Transport, and it's a Nurgle Rhino that's actually made out of MDF. You put it together, and that's actually what it looks like. So we'll put that together, and that's going to give us a another Nurgle Rhino. That's pretty neat, because now I'll have actually 3 Nurgle Rhinos. I'm going to be curious if anybody actually lets me play with it as far as tournaments. But if anything, I will get this in on some battle reports with the Death Guard for the channel, right? So this is really, really cool. We'll put it together and take a look at it. If anything, you guys could buy it and basically convert a Rhino with the bits, which nobody would actually be mad about that. So, and I'll show you guys a size comparison next to a Rhino. But lots of building. So I'm gonna get to building this stuff, and when we come back, literally it's gonna look like instantaneously I built all this stuff. And I'll tell you guys how long it took me and kind of the range of difficulty, and kind of break down the kits from there. So stay tuned. All right, heretics, so this is day 2. So I have actually built all of the terrain. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the kits before I do any modifications to them, because they're a little too imperial-y for me. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I got. So the first one we're going to cover, actually it's a bunch of stuff that I put in this box here to dry, is the wooden crates. So you get a total of 18 different crates. And so they actually come individually. And I'm just going to pick one up here. And as you guys can see, I actually glued them together in a pattern. That way I don't have to set them all up individually. So I actually glued the individual boxes. Now these are really cool because I really don't even have to paint on them, right? They've already got the pattern of the boxes, and they're nice and sturdy. You can put guys up on top of it if you really wanted to. But these make great line of sight blocking pieces of terrain. So these I'm not even going to paint. And I actually got 2 sets, so you guys can see here. I glued them together in a different pattern, so that way both sides look different. Now the next thing we got was the shipping crates. Shipping containers. Now it's only 1 container per set, so make sure if you guys buy these and you want multiple, you have to buy them. But they're nice. Like they're you know what? They're about 1.5 times the size of a Space Marine. So you could probably fit a good 5-man squad behind this. So I'm actually going to probably combine this with the crates to make a really nice wall somewhere on the board. And so you guys can see I got 2 of those. Now the next thing we got was the Imperial Ruins access point. Now the cool thing is, and I'm going to show you guys with the bigger pieces, that these are actually modular, and you can put them with other pieces of this set. You guys can see it's just basically like just a little ruin. Sorry, it is shiny from, I slapped a ton of glue on this thing. So that way it doesn't like fall apart on me. I actually did double. You guys can see it actually dried on the cardboard there, and I had to peel it off. But really nice and sturdy terrain here from Miniature Scenery. Really enjoying it. And it's a pretty good size. I'll actually show you guys here in a second with Chaos Space Marine on it. But yeah, let's go over to the desk and see what we got over there. So as promised, I said I would show you guys with a like Plague Marine on top of it. So this would be like nice to just kind of put some guys behind it, just like a nice line of sight blocker maybe. Probably give it some not the ruin rules, you know, but this is great to combine with some of the other pieces I'm about to show you. So before I show you some of the other terrain kits, let's move this out of the way. I'm going to show you guys the cool thing that he sent me extra. Now it is drying. I literally just finished it. So this right here is the Scuttlebug Transport. Now the really cool thing is I don't know how well this is going to paint up with a hand brush because I do not do any airbrushing, but it's a pretty neat little kit, as you guys can see here. It's got like the little maws on the side. I used different, in the diagram, they actually use like the same size teeth. I like the various teeth to make it look like the mouths are actually opening up and doing whatever, pulsating. But this one was actually really easy to put together. The instructions online were really good. I definitely commend Tim and his team on what they did. But now, one thing, oh, where's my rhino at? Here, I'm going to actually show you guys in comparison to a Terex pattern assault drill just how chunky this thing is. So you guys can see it is bigger than a normal rhino. So I'm going to probably use it as like a command rhino. Basically with my death guard, like a rhino with HQs in it or something. And obviously you're gonna have to get the okay from your TOs and stuff before you use something like this in place of a rhino, but it is definitely not modeling for advantage. It is a lot bigger than a normal rhino, but it's a fantastic little vehicle. I really like it. It's super creative, so fantastic, guys, fantastic. So the next thing we got, we'll talk about this one. So this is the Imperial Ruins entrance. Throwing the paper off to the side. And you guys can see this thing is massive. So here's a Plague Marine just hanging out there. So you guys can see this is a really, really big. Now it's cool. It's like multi-tiered. You got some stairs, some archways and stuff. So like you could have like a Vindicator Assassin, you know, just hanging out up there, just shooting some dudes. It's really cool. Now one thing I wanted to show you guys is this in comparison to a Knight. Boom. So it is taller than a Knight. So if you wanted to, you could technically say this is obscuring. Now, obviously, true line of sight would say that you could see the Knight through the entrance. That's up to you and your buddies. I'm going to have to kind of see how it plays on the table and kind of go from there. But this is a fantastically large piece of terrain. I really like it. I really like, let's go ahead and turn it around here on the backside. I really like how detailed it is. It's got all the stairways and everything. Like, this is a great piece of terrain if you want to, you know, use it for RPGs and stuff. But this would also be fantastic on Kill Team. Like, I can make a really badass Kill Team board with this stuff. But you guys can see it's huge. It's a massive piece. And we got two of these just to kind of... Now, I said that these are modular. And what I'm talking about is here on the edges, they're actually serrated. And if you look at their website, they actually kind of show you it put together, which is partially my fault. I thought when I talked to Tim, I thought that it was like one large piece. No, these actually, the ends are meant to go together. And so you could actually add on to this and just keep adding more and more pieces. And there's actually an L piece I'm about to show you guys that would actually drag it around a corner. And you can make it like into a huge, massive ruin in the middle of your table, which would be really thematic and cool. Like I said, I have to kind of to put them on the table and see what it looks like. Well, actually, I'll show you guys here once I get it all painted up and done. So the next piece we'll talk about is the corner ruins, the Imperial Ruins corners. And this is what I was talking about for an L piece of terrain. Now, this thing is super detailed, a lot more detailed than I was actually thinking. So this is, yet again, like we said, it's modular. So I would actually attach in the window, would actually complete it. You could also use it as a standalone piece. But here I'm going to turn it around on the backside just to show you guys. So it even goes like deep in there. Like I said, this is a great piece of terrain for like RPGs and stuff if you wanted to, or Kill Team. Like you could get up to where like guys are standing on stairwells shooting at each other. But this is how you would actually build out that Imperial whatever into like an L-shaped, like large style ruin. Really, really super cool. This one is still drying. I literally just finished it, but you guys can see with wood glue, these things turn into bricks. These are really, really good. Awesome. Go ahead and sit that off to the side. And the last piece we have to talk about is the Imperial Ruins Straight. And so the Imperial Ruins Straight is literally just a small section of the Imperial Ruins, just kind of like the other pieces. And so you guys can see I kind of set it up there just because I was like wondering how it would actually look. And I can keep adding on more and more pieces. So like you could just buy one piece of it and just keep adding to it however you wanted, you know. Here, let's go ahead and add an L shape on one of the sides here. And I'm just trying to show you guys like just how many options there is with this set. It's really freaking cool. Now it doesn't line up, like it depends on how you build it. You guys can see there is a bit of a break there. It depends on how anal you are. To me, like that's very thematic because it is a ruin. So I wouldn't expect it to be a complete wall. Sorry, just moving it there. But you guys can see, like, it's just one giant L piece. So I could use that as a big line of sight blocking L in the middle of my table, and which is really freaking cool. You could glue them together even if you wanted to. I'm not going to because these are actually quite heavy individually. This is weighs quite a bit. So. But you guys can see that Miniature Scenery's terrain is really cool. Now, like I said, it is a little bit too Imperial for me. So we're going to do some modifications and come back to show you before paint. I forgot to mention, so this is for Tim out there. So this is Salt Ramp conversion kit you gave me. I do not know if I'll ever have a Rhino to use it. However, these spiky bits and chaosy bits... yeah, I think I have an idea what to do with this. Okay, so we're back. So I just added some bits and stuff to them to make them a little bit more thematic. So I basically kind of went with a theme of Nurgle and Khorne have overtaken an old Imperial Ruin. So half of the things will have Khorne banners on them. And so I like left some old guns and stuff like they had been overrun. I was thinking about maybe adding corpses and stuff, but like that would it would add so much more time to actually painting them. So I did like a teleport homer down there. I actually ran out of banners, so I utilized those chaos symbols from that kit there. Some of these wouldn't actually stick and dry, so I actually had to lay them down. So this one has a heavy bolter up there, and like I said, a Nurgle banner there. And then we have a hanging skeleton and a Khorne banner there. Over here on these ones, I wanted them to look like little defensive positions. So added some bits to that and that. So next step is painting. Okay, so the next step, right, we've already built all of our terrain. So is to paint. Now I'm a big fan of Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte primers. I actually use this for most of my armies. Really cheap, about $4 a can, $5 at Walmart. Well, $4 at Walmart. And obviously you guys can get these at Lowe's and Home Depot. So if you guys have discounts, you know, you can leverage them. So I'm actually doing a 3-color coat. So the first coat is actually this Ultra Matte Slate, followed by, we're gonna do flat gray. So make sure these are all matte, right? You definitely don't want any gloss on it unless you want shiny terrain. And last, we're going to do perfect gray. So what this is going to do is create a nice gradient on my terrain. And really, I don't have to touch it with a brush. I mean, you could do a brush and do like some highlights and stuff like that, but we're lazy here on Heretic Wargaming, especially when we're just trying to get a table ready to go for an event or something. So yeah, now let's go check out our terrain after one coat of the slate. So here's the box of terrain. So between videos, because this has been a few weeks, I actually picked these up from my local hobby store. These are Pegasus Games craters. They're really, really neat, really cheap. They were like $10 for a pack of 5, you know. So now here's all my awesome terrain that was donated by Miniature Scenery, which is the main reason for this video. And I've got a few other pieces from Tabletop Scenics, which is... while the kits are okay, the quality difference between Tabletop Scenics and Miniature Scenery is actually pretty substantial. So let's go over here behind me. So because North Carolina is so oppressively wet out, it's actually incredibly humid. In order for my terrain to dry, I actually have to pull it inside, and I just leave it in the kitchen area here just to kind of sit for about 10-15 minutes before I do different coats, right? So, you know, as you guys can see, this is what it looks like after one coat. It's still a little wet, but you guys can see a little bit of the grain from the wood actually will poke through on your very first coat. So if you want it to be just absolutely like just one color, you have to hit it multiple times. Me, I actually like that because it makes it look almost like concrete. You know what I mean? So I kind of like those gradient looks to them. So, and you guys can see over here. So I did miss a little bit, like up on these stairs. I'm not actually gonna hit that up when I do the highlights with the different sprays, which I will video that just to kind of show you guys. And yeah, so I'm doing all my scenery all at once because I'm just gonna make them one flat look throughout the entire table. Like I said, we're doing it real quick and easy here. Give you guys a quick, easy paint coat on your terrain. Obviously, you can get as crazy as you want and more detailed, but we got so many things to paint. This is just to literally get a tabletop ready table, and then so we can get going and playing. So I'll be back when we go to get the next coat on. Okay, so the next step here is this is where we're going to go ahead and highlight our terrain. Now, obviously you guys can hear me shaking up the can, so I apologize if it's a little loud. So when I primed these, I did not prime the bottom pieces. That way I know exactly what side is going to be on the bottom of the table. Now it's up to you guys how you want to do them. I didn't also prime the bottom of any of these pieces of terrain as well. Now, this is for you guys out there who might not be as inclined to spray paint a lot of stuff. So you always want to go ahead after shaking it up, go ahead and give it a few sprays. That way you guys kind of loosen it up in there and make sure that it's not clumping up or separating or anything like that. And so because this is just a highlight, you guys are gonna see, I'm gonna do this actually from quite far away and just kind of lightly dust everything. So I'm sorry if you guys can't see that well. And we're just going to kind of come around these. What this is going to do is it's going to create like a nice like multi-tonal effect of just different grays. Akin to airbrushing without actually airbrushing, you know, because I do not own an airbrush, so. And so you don't want to actually like spray paint these like you're priming something, you know what I mean? And hopefully you guys can see this. Can't really tell because I'm more focused on the actual terrain itself. And try to spray it in a way that way it doesn't really hit the terrain pieces that you already hit. So the wind is actually starting to blow, so it's kind of drifting that way. But we'll try our best, you know. And this is just, like I said, a quick and easy way that you can do this. This is not meant to be like any pro level stuff. This is just literally to get it on the table and be done with it. Get it ready for a game. And it's better than having, you know, just some normal MDF pieces laying around or that sort of deal. I'm being kind of random with it because I do not want it to actually look uniform in any way, shape, or form. All right, and that's about it for this set. So we'll just kind of come up close so you guys can see, you know, you get a bit of a multi-tonal difference. Now, it's not incredibly different, you know, because it's not like way lighter than the previous coat. But that's where our ultra highlight here of the super light perfect gray is going to come into play. Now, you don't really have to wait between coats when you guys are doing your highlights. Sorry, let me pop the lid off this. Reason being, you know, this is just literally, we're going to toss this stuff on. I'm going to bring it inside and let it dry. And so I did pre-shake this a little bit so you guys can see the 3 different shades of gray right here. So see how much different. Now obviously this one needs to be shaken up a little bit more. It's separating a bit. And this is why we spray on the side of, so these are actually old beer boxes that I got in Germany that I just had laying in my garage. And I started using them for my priming and stuff. Because really they had no other use. Alright, there we go, that's good. Now this one I'm going to have to be pretty cautious with because I don't want to. So I'm going to actually do this one from quite a ways away. Because you guys can see how light that is. So we're just going to kind of just do some spurts on it. And I'm trying to be really cautious because I don't want it to, like I said, we want that tonal difference. I'm trying to be really cautious, especially around the parts we already did. Now, the cool thing is, you know, if I wanted to, I could come over this and just kind of like hit it up with a dry brush of like some sort of gray to kind of blend it all together. Really, it's what you want, but the whole purpose of this tutorial is just to kind of show you guys just a quick and easy way. Get this stuff to the table, get busting, get playing a game with your miniature scenery. And it will dry a little darker than what it actually goes on as. So you guys can actually see as it dries up, it's not nearly as kapow as when I put it on. So I'll just show you guys real quick. And so after this part right here, I will just show you guys all the terrain once it's done. We'll do like a quick lineup of everything. All right. I think that's awesome. I think that looks pretty good. So you guys can see, I mean, it's just a nice, quick, how you doing? And this will just be nice, effective terrain just for a table, you know. We're not going for anything. We are trying to tell a bit of a story, but I just want it to be nice and painted. So I could weather it if I wanted to. Really, like I said, the sky's the limit. But because there's just so much terrain we got to get through, we're just doing a nice, quick, easy, get a table done, get it on the table. So I'll be right back to show you guys everything put together. And we are back. So as you guys can see, real simple, quick paint job on all of this wonderful miniature scenery terrain right here. And I kept the boxes unpainted because I actually like the textures and stuff. Now, the way that these are textured, you can really paint them, and these will actually pop out the little grooves and stuff. I don't actually have an example is like on these crates, right? So it just depends. I could paint them brown if I wanted to, but I didn't buy the spray paint to paint them brown, so I'm just going to leave them unpainted because I think they look great as boxes. And as you guys can see, this is just some fantastic terrain. It's super, super intricate and I cannot wait to get some games, which you guys will see in some battle reports and things like that. So let's go ahead and close up this video. Hey heretics, I'm sweaty because I was watching Cops. If you get that reference, you get 10 heretic points. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks so much to Tim over at Miniature Scenery for donating this terrain. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely gonna come in handy, and definitely going to be in a lot of battle reports here at Heretic Wargaming. And I'm also going to utilize it at a lot of my tournaments. So top table, you guys will get to play on this wonderful terrain. That being said, go check him out over on miniaturescenery.com. Let him know that I sent you. And maybe he'll give you a discount. I don't know. Depends on how Tim's feeling. But that being said, thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next video here at Heretic Wargaming.